Come on now. You know what we doing. What's good, y'all? Faux Farmer Darryl here, and yes, we are back. I'm still not a real farmer, but I am making it my civil duty to try and grow something healthy for you. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, as I will bring you content on how to, grow yourself. This is what we all want to do. And today we have just that. There's a video I want to show in which I want to break down one of my methods I use to grow. As you know, if you've seen the last video, I grow out of container bins, and this is what I'm going to show you, actually how the more complex method and what I use. So let's get right into it. All right, I'm toasting you, Darryl. All right, so what we have here is a larger bin than what I had last week. This is more heavy duty. It's black, it's opaque, and you see two holes already. So these are two holes that I drilled in using that hole saw. I don't want to show you how crazy and sloppy I look trying to use it, so let's just, I already did it, okay? So I drilled two holes in this one because it's a smaller unit, and it's for these 3-inch net cups. These net cups will shoot right in there. They fit perfectly. And once you have them in there, that is your whole setup. So essentially what you're able to do here is you can see what's happening under the hood. I like that whole process. That's air stone. And that air stone is what's going to provide oxygen to the water. I'm really big on it. So I'm going to put that air stone right in the middle of the bin so I can just get equal oxygen throughout the entire bin itself. Now I'm working with 7 gallons, but I'm probably only going to need about 4.5, 5 gallons to fill this up. So I've got my air stone, and that is connected to my air pump. You can get these pumps anywhere from, $5 to $100. Just depends on what kind of operation you have. It's the best thing that I like smaller pumps where you can control the airflow. And so this pump itself, this specific one, I'll leave a link down in the description, is one that works for me really well. You can control the airflow and it's not too loud. So I do like that whole air pump system itself. So you make sure you've got enough rubber hose to go through the bin. And what I also did was drill a small hose so that little nozzle itself, or not nozzle, but that air tube can run through the bin. So I don't want to really interrupt the growth of the roots. And so you see some people, they'll just basically run that air tube through the net cup. And in this case, I didn't want to do it. It's always good to have its own little area of supply. Another good thing that I've noticed, and depending on what you're growing, is if you put the air pump on top of the hood, it provides vibration. So it does kind of its own germination. When you want these plants to flower and then start fruiting, when they're not pollination, I'm sorry. you want these flowers to pollinate. So what you're doing is you're providing some kind of shake and rattling to it, and that air pump does it. It shakes the plants and allows to pollinate. So I'm adding my nutrient solution. I went on ahead and filled up the water, and as you can see, the water is a different color. It's not my sweatshirt. It's actually micro bloom. So it's one of the starter nutrients I use in my water to create nutrient solution for small little saplings, in which this case, I'm going to transplant red leaf and green leaf lettuce. So we're good there. We're good there. Go around with it. I've got my air stone set. I've got my air pump. I've got my nutrient solution, and I've got my first fill of water. So I've got to have two of those. I've got to have two fills. So I'm putting my air stone in now just so I can get it wet. I've used it before, so if it's a new one, the instructions would say to leave it in the water for an hour first. But I've used this before and just made a transfer from one bin to the next. So I'm adding 2 gallons in this case here because all this is going to call for is 5 gallons. You're not filling the 7-gallon bin all the way up. Just enough for the bottom of those net cups to touch the water. And if that happens, that provides moisture to that rapid rooter, which is what I'm using to grow the actual vegetable plant. And let the roots and everything else do the rest. So I've got my air pump. I'm gonna plug that in. And everything else at this point is ready to go. It's ready to go. You want to make sure you got proper airflow. So I'm going to fiddle with this a little bit because the best thing to do is not try to use dry rubber tubing on a pump. Maybe try to, moisturize it or something. Jesus. Come on, Darryl. What are you doing? All right, so we got it there. Yes, we did. We have it. All right, so I'm looking at the air go through. I'm happy about that. And I'm like, okay, let's see what this looks like. If I just pop it in, then we should be okay. All right. Good airflow. I got to move that air stone more toward the middle and we're good to go. So now I'm going to do the transfer here. What I made a mistake with on last harvest was I just threw a bunch of seeds in. I wanted to see what the light would do. And different plants, pods had different reactions. Some didn't grow big at all. In previous posts on my Instagram, you could see that some leaves were oversized. It was like it was enough light. So in this case here, I don't want to just crowd the pot any longer. I'm just going to transfer one sapling, seedling, into another rapid rooter. So I'm essentially turning one rooter that has multiple plants into multiple rooters. And that's what's going on there as far as the transfer. Now what I use are rapid rooters and Peloton clay pellets. And these are cool. No soil. And what happens really is you don't have any bugs. You have no pests whatsoever. There's no bugs at all. You may have little gnats, they may, the little household things that may try to, attach itself to the plants, but for the most part, there's nothing going on, no bugs. So I really like the Peloton, Hydroton clay pellets and the rapid rooters. That's specifically what I'm growing out of. So I'm just gonna prune this one now. I thought, okay, well, I'm hungry, so I'll just go ahead and eat this one, see how it tastes, make sure we're good. And I'm gonna put some more clay pebbles in this system here. So I had one rapid rooter that had maybe 3 saplings in it, and I just took that one and turned it into 2. That's what I didn't do on my last harvest, and essentially you don't want to do that. Everything's going to be overcrowded. And what I thought was, all right, I might have a handful of seeds in one pod, but I have a 27-gallon bin, so there's more than enough water. There's more than enough space and oxygen. I'm pumping oxygen into the bin itself, so I should be able to create a climate in which the plant should be able to flourish. But that isn't always the case. So always prune. Always prune. Don't be greedy. Just take what you need. And that's it. So I've got a fully functioning working system now. I've got 2 saplings that I'm gonna put right in the tent behind me, and we're good to go. All right, y'all, so that is my system. That's the system that I use all the time. All the time. That's the system I'm pretty happy with. It also gave me the green slime, but I do feel this is a system that works for me, that I'm happy with. that has shown great results. So the next video, let's get into some specific plants that I like growing. Right now it's not the peppers or tomatoes, it's a lot of lettuce. So let's look at some lettuce. Let's try to plant some lettuce. All right, make sure you do like and subscribe to this channel. I will be doing my best to bring you content that you will like and hopefully eat someday. And remember, I grow, you grow, we grow together. Peace out.